Alright folks, it's August 18th today and it's a warm and muggy one. Been working in the garden and got the girls out playing in the yard. And so I'm going to give you a quick garden update. Come check it out. What are you up to? Look who comes around the corner. There's Phyllis. So my peppers are growing everywhere in the garden. Tomatoes, I've already picked off 2 red ones and the girls knocked off a red one and 2 green ones, so I gotta keep them out of here. This is an raised bed garden. Some more jalapenos here and over here. Looks like this one's getting eaten by something. Oh yeah, of course. And my banana peppers. Look at, beautiful. This one could be harvested right now. All right. And here comes the peepers. There they go, following mom. And they're learning to use their wings. They even scratch in the dirt. Come on, little cuties. Come on. Well, on the weekend they'll be 2 weeks old. She's been training them really, really well. I think it's a beautiful thing to watch them mature. Go find mama. Yay! Whee! Okay, back to the garden. Oh, and back here I got my first cherry tomatoes. Awesome! Now here is my bed of onions and leeks and just not growing, and then I had transplanted 2 pepper plants from my flower garden and they're not doing well either. So, hey, next year I'll improve. Then in this one I have organic cukes at the back, which most of my seeds didn't even take. I got a tomato mixed in there and some pepper plants with marigolds. And so what do we got going on? Some more jalapenos. Something keeps eating them though. And some green tomatoes. And hallelujah, I have some pickling cukes. I might have to do pickling tomorrow. Beans and cukes. Now this is where we get to the fun part. Okay, yeah. Last year I made a mistake and I planted way too many big plants into my raised bed gardens, and I did the same thing again this year, just not as bad. But stuff is growing up through my neighbor's fence. This is one of our females. Hopefully it stays a female because we'd had to rip 2 out. This one, I have some gorgeous squash growing on. Over here, I have marigolds. I have beets down there, and then I have my beans, which are almost done. So I'm going to be picking the rest of the beans today and then ripping out the foliage, and then that will give my beets more space to be able to grow. And I might even be able to do like radishes or something in behind there, something fast growing. So that's cool. Had a good bean harvest this year. And we got more squash in here. They're all hiding out. Oh, I got some green tomatoes on the ground back there. I'll have to get those out later. And another squash. And giant zucchini. 2 of them. And over here, another girl. Not budding yet. This one is though, finally. Finally. You can see how tall she is. That one there, not as high. And then I have corn in the back, and it's pretty tiny. My rhubarb, I harvested another harvest from it, so that was 2 this year. Potatoes, not even sure how they got in here, but they're in there. Okay, and in this planter I have more peppers. So these are my green peppers. They're still kind of small, but probably harvest like tomorrow, just so nothing eats them. So quite a few. Really happy with the pepper production this year. Nothing on this one yet. We got some flowers. More green peppers, see some, eats them. So, yeah. I have to make some meatloaf, which I'm going to be videoing. So I'm going to use some of my green peppers in my meatloaf. More jalapenos. Oh, looks like somebody knocked one off. They come in here when I let them free range. See? What snacks on jalapenos? Okay, and back here, these are all my totes. Those all have potatoes. Here is the zucchini in the planter that I did. I already harvested 2 big, huge zucchinis out of this one. I don't think I'll do zucchinis in a bucket again. There's just not enough room. And over here I have my carrots. Pulled one out the other day. It was a decent size. And I have a lot of celery in this one. And eight things of celery, I think, in this. And then the fuzzy stuff is my asparagus that will come back next year. And a pile of the sunflowers. All back in here. And in here, mixed with my corn, I have turnip. And look at how big and beautiful they are. Oh, I'm so excited. And we got bees. Beautiful. And that's where I put those 2 containers for water collection. Picked those up for free from the recycling facility. And in this one, it looks like my zucchini mated with a squash, which happens. So there's 2 in there. And back in here, I had my sunflowers mixed with my corn and my peas, because I figured that the peas would be able to climb up the corn and the sunflowers. Well, I got 2 peas off of all those plants, so I will be doing that again next year. So now I'll take you to the hugelkultur garden. Oh yeah, so my potatoes are in that raised bed and all the greens are dying, so I think that I'm going to be digging those up probably tomorrow, and we'll see if we got any potatoes. So always at the end of the season, I leave a couple of beans, preferably the longer, big, huge ones, and these are the ones that I'm going to be planting for next year. So yeah. And in this one, I had started some radishes, so they're doing okay, but nothing for the rest. Very strange. And JH556, if you're watching, she hangs out in my garden. Well, we're on our way to the hugelkultur. This is just one of my flower gardens. My liatrices are up and blooming. And these ones here, I forget the name of these guys. They don't have a smell, but they're really pretty and dainty. And over here, all of my lilies are pretty much done except for the big tiger lilies. Apple tree still has no fruit on it. And this was the oat grass that I had put into this planter. So yeah, the chickens don't like the oats, but if you grow the grass, they definitely love the grass. But it's almost finished. Oh, and I picked this up the other day for free. That place where my dad's cleaning out, that old hoarder's place. So I'm gonna make like a little stand so that they can play on this thing, and they'll just spin around on it. I think it'll be fun for them. Where are you, little peepers? And some of my flowers are still kicking. One of my herb gardens is doing very well. I have done some dehydrating from this one, and I got to do some more. And here's Gord's Hopi Pale Gray Squash. It's a rare squash, and it is staying the same size now. So I won't be doing squash or zucchini in planters. Even my dill really sucked in the planter. So good thing that I did a barter. That'll be in an upcoming video. And pretty much everything that I had in the planters, like the arugula, kale, my lettuce, the Chinese lettuce, everything bolted really early. My radishes. So I just collected the seeds from everything that bolted too soon. And I could probably replant in this, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough growing time. This planter gone to seed pretty much. I have done a little bit of dehydrating from this. So, but it's still looking decent. I wish my basil was a lot larger, but maybe next year. Then on the deck, I have plants coming through from the hugelkultur garden. And in this one, I planted some beans late, so hopefully I get another batch of beans. This cucumber plant is looking really sad. Look at it, get like 1, 2, and then there's one skinny looking one back there. Just weird. Something eating it. And I have some zinnias. They have a long bloom time. They're beautiful. Okay, so here's a look at the hugelkultur garden from afar. Yeah, it's a crazy mess. Usually it's full of different veggies. I don't see nothing happening yet on this one. This one here looks like we have a pumpkin. Yay, I thought I lost all my pumpkins. Beautiful. And here, a winter squash. Awesome. And more giant zucchinis. Oh boy. And all the milkweed is going to seed, so if anyone wants milkweed seeds, let me know. These will eventually bust open and reveal a whole bunch of fluffiness. And got some green tomatoes on this one. It's not a huge plant by any means, but it's doing okay. We don't come out and water this one, it just gets watered by nature. And the rotting material in the hugelkultur provide it with a lot of nutrients. More zucchinis. So what I do to get it off the ground is I just put rocks underneath there so that the slugs don't go on there. And a few more green tomatoes. Yeah, last year I had a lot more squash and honeydew. I lost all my honeydews this year. And this one, Radishes are blooming, and the echinacea medicine. So I was hoping that this would have spread a lot more from last year. And in the front, yeah, it's just a little bit of a disastrous, weedy mess right now. I gotta get in there. Clean that out. This is also a coneflower medicine. Black-eyed Susans. And my plants growing out onto the front lawn. Raspberries almost done for the year. Did a little bit of harvesting this year. Raspberries. There was barely any blueberries though. Blackberries were galore. I call it my rubber plant. I forget the other name for it. It's blooming. And more Radishes. And this is the last bloom on my Weigelia. Done for the year. Well, folks, thank you for coming along my garden tour. Late August 18th to be exact. It's a warm, muggy one. And I have to get out into the garden now and do some harvesting. Stay tuned for the video when I show you how many potatoes, if I get any, how many potatoes I got. Thank you for watching. Take care. Be safe.